Welcome to the Audio Architect Parameter Presets Overview. In this video, we'll define what a parameter preset is and we'll take a look at how they can be created. A parameter preset, much like a panel preset, is a snapshot of parameter values. However, the way we can recall them differs greatly. Let's take a look at the following chart for a comparison breakdown between the two preset types. As we can see, there are clearly pros and cons to both. While parameter presets can support nearly all BSS SoundWeb London devices, they can only support a small fraction of other network devices found in Audio Architect. Panel presets can be created for any device parameter found within the software. They are both created using Audio Architect, however, parameter presets can only be created while offline. That can make dialing in presets for specific gain levels or EQs a little tricky, but not impossible. The key advantage to using parameter presets is the fact that they can be recalled through any control system supported by BSS. If you remember from watching the Custom Panels Tips and Tricks video, panel presets can only be recalled using Audio Architect. Because parameter presets live on SoundWeb London devices once the venue file has been synchronized, this makes it possible to use other control methods without requiring Audio Architect to be on the network. Let's now move forward in learning how to create a parameter preset. First, we'll click on the Parameter Presets button found in the Tools section of the Offline Design ribbon. This brings up a new preset group window. We find a number of options in the ribbon at the top for helping us create parameter presets, which we'll discuss in detail shortly. Below the Parameter Presets ribbon, we find the Venue Explorer and the Preset Group Workspace. The Workspace allows us to group together parameters. We can group parameters together from a single processing object or multiple processing objects depending on the application. We can also rename the preset group by double-clicking on the Preset Group 1 label and typing in the desired name. For our first example, let's rename this to Room Gain. We'll set up multiple presets for recalling specific gain values for the room outputs being processed by a BSS SoundWeb London Blue 50. So how do we create parameter presets? Well, if you've watched any other training videos, then you'll already be familiar with dragging and dropping from the Venue Explorer or control dragging from an object's control panel. We already have some configured hardware in our venue file, so let's use the Venue Explorer at this moment and look at the audio folder in our BSS device. We'll locate the gain object we want to use and simply drag and drop the gain parameters for every channel we want to include in this group. It should also be mentioned you can drag and drop entire processing objects into a preset group to capture all parameters. We'll then see the device, object, and parameter info displayed in the preset group. Now let's click on the new preset option in the Create section of the Parameter Presets ribbon. When we take this action, a preset is created reading in the values of the current state of the parameters. Let's use these values and rename the preset 1 to preset 0dB. Now let's select the preset and click on Duplicate in the Create options of the Parameter Presets ribbon. For the sake of this example, let's assume we've previously gone online with the venue file and have determined appropriate levels. Remember, we cannot create these presets while online. One way to change the parameter values is to simply click into the parameter value field and type in the desired setting. Let's change preset 2 so that it's recalling -6 dB values and rename appropriately. We can just type in the number. We don't have to type in dB for decibels. Now let's verify these two presets are working before we create any others. We don't have to go online or simulate the venue to verify this. We can simply open the object's control panel and visually confirm the values are changing as desired. If the audio configuration isn't open to access the control panel, remember we can quickly get there simply by double-clicking on the gear symbol next to the object in the Venue Explorer. Open the panel, and then let's move back to the Parameter Presets tab. Now we can select the preset and choose Recall in the preset options found in the Parameter Presets ribbon, or we can right-click at the top of the column to select Recall. Let's test each one, and right now we are only concerned with the channel 1 and 2 faders moving respectively. We won't worry about the channel mute states or the master level at this point. Also notice that after creating the presets, they are displayed within the Venue Explorer. This is helpful when it comes time to assigning a preset to be recalled by a BSS SoundWeb Contrio controller or discovering the third-party control strings for recalling a preset in addition to other control methods. Let's say we misread our notes and we needed the -6 dB preset to actually recall -9 dB. We could simply type in our values, or since we have the control panel open, we can make use of that too. On the control panel, let's change the faders to -9 dB, make sure the -6 dB preset is selected, and then click on the Store Current Values button found in the preset options within the Parameter Preset ribbon. We'll find the preset has updated and we can rename accordingly. If we make a mistake, we can always click on the Undo or Redo buttons. The Delete button is also available, but be careful to confirm what is highlighted first in the Parameter Preset workspace before hitting Delete. Selecting a preset and choosing the Default Values option will set each parameter to its default state. For our final portion of this video, let's create a new preset group and name it AMP Parameters. If we ever need to make any changes to our first group that we created, then we can always use the Selected Preset dropdown to switch between them. The Crown DCI networked amplifiers allow us to use its parameters when creating parameter presets, but don't confuse the parameter preset with the device preset hosted on the amplifier. We may have an application that simply requires us to mute and unmute outputs of an amplifier using some sort of schedule or third-party control. Just like with SoundWeb London devices, we can bring the parameters into the preset group workspace, and in this case, we are looking for the channel 1 and 2 processing output mute enable parameters. Create 2 presets, and we'll use the parameter values 0 for unmute and 1 for mute. Now we can test recalling the presets like we did with the BSS parameters, and all works as expected, but we need to take one more step before loading this configuration. That step is to set the SoundWeb London preset proxy of the amplifier. We'll navigate to the location of our devices and select the amplifier. Next, we'll look in the properties and locate the drop-down menu for the SoundWeb London preset proxy and select our BSS device. We have to specify a SoundWeb London device as the proxy due to the fact that networked amplifiers cannot host parameter presets. You may be thinking, did you forget about amplifier device presets? Why go to all this trouble if we can just recall a device preset in the amplifier? It really comes down to the application and how you intend to control said parameters. You'll remember from the beginning of this video that parameter presets can be recalled using any control system supported by BSS SoundWeb London processors. They can also easily be recalled using SoundWeb London logic control, which we'll take a look at in another video. And keep in mind, this allows us to use a SoundWeb London device not only as an audio router and processor, but also as a controller. When using SoundWeb London logic as a form of control in this system, we'll find amplifier device presets are not available to us to be recalled like they are through other parts of Audio Architect. So this is why we're taking the time to point out that some networked amplifiers can be included in parameter presets. Neither choice is right or wrong when it comes to using device presets or parameter presets for recalling parameter values in an amplifier. Again, it just comes down to how we intend to control the system. This concludes our parameter presets overview. Be sure to come back and watch the parameter preset recall video. Thanks for watching.